Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us right here on the roof of the penthouse. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. And we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Oh, definitely. Listen to us anytime, anyplace. Download the TuneIn app to your smartphone or tablet and make 920 The Voice your favorite.
You'll be glad you did.
Oh, yes, you will be.
Elise, we have a great show for you today.
Of course we do.
We always do.
Absolutely we do.
We've got some fun Father's Day facts, a funny story about your mom, and a few...
My mom? Or a vernacular mom?
The vernacular mom.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, Elisa's mom. A few truths about men and their deep thinking.
I have a few truths about men.
I know, and I want to hear about them. And last but not least, what the color of your urine means.
I know all about that. I can't wait to discuss that with you.
I can't wait to hear it. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it actually, what your urine says about you. Can you imagine? Facts about these kinds of things are amazing.
Well, we're going to learn all about that right after a word from our sponsor.
Perfect.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
Well, Father's Day is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
A great day it is, too.
Yes, it's a wonderful day. Happy Father's Day to all of the wonderful fathers out there.
Yeah. I never got a Father's Day card, but I often got a Mother's Day card.
You got a Mother's Day card?
Not mother.
Oh, mother.
Mother Day card.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you could get a Big Daddy's Day card.
That is my nickname.
Yeah, Big Daddy is all over his computer, so maybe that's the card you should get.
Big Daddy rules.
Yeah, I think that's the card that you'll get.
You know what? We're going to have a contest. Anybody that sends in a card to us with a Big Daddy reference on it, they're going to get a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Give them the address to send that card
Now
to.
here, you're going to send this card. You're going to address it to Anthony Vincent Salon. That's 8 Princeton Heightstown Road, East Windsor, New Jersey, 08520. But here's the thing. There is a time limit. Okay? So that card needs to be sent before and by July 15th. Okay? So you'll have about 3 weeks to get that Big Daddy reference into Anthony Vincent Salon.
Yeah, just address it to Big Daddy at Anthony Vincent Salon.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Absolutely will. It will. Now, Elise.
Anthony, tell me.
The idea of Father's Day was conceived in Spokane, Washington.
Yes.
Oh, you know that?
I do.
Okay. By a woman named...
Why do I know this? Do you want to know why?
Tell me.
Because you tell me I know everything.
That you do. It was conceived in Spokane, Washington by a young lady named Sonora Dodd. Now, while she listened to a Mother's Day sermon in 1909, Dodd, now known as the mother of Father's Day, she wanted a special day to honor her father.
Isn't that so sweet?
Yeah, his name was William Smart. He was a widowed Civil War veteran who was left to raise 6 children on a farm.
Oh my God, how sad.
Yeah, that.
Now I can understand though why she wanted to create that for him, because he must have been something raising those children by himself.
Oh yeah, because that just wasn't done back then.
No, it's barely done now.
You're right about that.
I mean,
And who could have 6 children?
Well, people had a lot of children then. They even have 6 now. But, I mean, 9 children wasn't even unheard of. 11 children wasn't unheard of.
My neighbor had 12 children, and several of those children went on to have 10 children.
My father's family, his sister, his mother was part of like 9 children, and his father was part of like 11 children. They were like insane back then.
That's just how
They
it
just
was.
had so many kids.
Yeah, my father was one of 8, and my mother was one of 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of kids, and it's enough to afford too, So if you think about it, so he did this by himself. Amazing. I mean, women do it a lot also, but this is amazing, this man.
Yeah, he really was. So anyway, the following year, it was June 19th, 1910, was the chosen day for the first Father's Day celebration. It was proclaimed by Spokane's mayor because it was the month of William Smart's birth.
Oh, how nice. So now that's how we know why we have Father's Day.
Well, that's unofficially. Decades later, the first presidential proclamation honoring Father's Day was issued in 1966.
By one of my favorite presidents.
Do you know who the president was?
I do. And you know why I know who this president was?
Tell me.
Because he became president the year I was born.
He was. And who was that?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And he was a son of a gun, from what I understand.
Yeah, was he a son of a gun?
He was a son
Where'd that
of a
come
gun.
from?
Yes,
a son
yes.
of a gun.
Yeah. Well,
Why do you think he was a son of a gun?
Just the history. The history of him and the backstories.
Okay.
Which, this isn't a political show. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do
bring that up. This
We
is to
don't talk
honor
about politics or
fathers.
religion.
That's right. We talk about.
We talk about sex.
That's
we
what
don't
we
talk.
do.
I know what we talk. I know what you like, dude. Okay.
Well, what do they say? People who don't do it talk about it.
Is that what you want people to believe?
Oh well.
You better be careful how you're treading here.
Yeah, I'm always treading on
A little bit of ice here, a little thin ice you got going on.
Well, anyway, President Johnson designated the third Sunday in June as Father's Day. And Father's Day has been celebrated annually since 1972. Who was the president in 1972?
I don't even want to say it. I know it's not a political show, but you can say it if you want to. Oh, Watergate.
I thought the show wasn't political.
It's not.
Well, Father's Day has been celebrated every year since 1972 when President Richard Nixon signed the public law that made it permanent.
Fabulous. That was not a bad thing that he did there.
And, I thought that Father's Day was around forever. I didn't realize that it...
You learned something, Mr. Anthony Vincent.
Everyone learned something when they listened to our show, Liz.
No, but I'm saying you learned something new.
And I thought I knew it all.
Oh, you see that? I've been trying to tell you for a long time that you don't. And look at that. Prove me right again.
Well, everyone has always said, "Oh, Anthony, you're such a know-it-all." And so
You figured you did?
I figured I did know it all.
I love that.
Do you know there are nearly 66 million fathers in America?
Wow. That's a lot of fathers. That's a lot of fathers.
And nearly 95 million Father's Day cards were given last year in the United States.
That's a lot of paper. That's a lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
Stay out of my head, you.
Well, that 95 million Father's Day cards makes Father's Day the 4th largest card sending occasion in the country.
I'm sure Mother's Day beats that.
Well, I didn't do any research on Mother's Day. This is Father's Day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just saying. You said it's the 4th largest. So
Yes,
I was
it is.
thinking, I'm sure it's beaten by something.
Well, I'm thinking Christmas has got to be the first.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
Without doing the research on that, I'm sure.
We're going to check that out.
Okay.
We're going to Google that.
All right, you Google that.
Well, sons and daughters send 50% of the Father's Day cards, and 20% of the Father's Day cards are purchased by wives to their husbands.
Aw, that's sweet.
So that leaves 30% of the cards, which go to grandfathers, sons, brothers, uncles, someone special, and baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
Baby daddies.
I miss my grandpa. He was so sweet. He was the sweetest man on earth. He really was. They just didn't make them better than that. It's true. Don't get all teary. Don't get all teary on me. You're just like a mush ball, you.
That's me, Mr. Mushball. I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got lashes? Come and get them. Thick, full, and flirty. Individual plumes introduced to your own. No need for anything else. Bat away. Say hello to beautiful.
Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. Elise, you know, I got such a beautiful letter from one of the ladies from the assisted living place.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I do. Well, we'll talk about it. It was a really lovely story when we went to go visit your mom. We brought a bunch of radios for some of the people that we know to listen to our radio show.
Right.
Every Saturday morning.
Right.
And one of the ladies just sent us a letter. I'm going to read it.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'd love to hear it on the air.
Okay. Dear Anthony and Elise, God bless you for the beautiful radio. I'm 84 years old, living in the assisted living home for the aged, and all of my family passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm all alone, and it's nice to know that someone is thinking of me.
Oh, you're making me cry right now.
Isn't that touching?
That is so touching.
My roommate is 95 and has always had her own radio. But before I received the one that you and Elise gave me, she would never let me listen to hers, even when she was napping.
Really?
Isn't what, you know?
At 95, don't you? I mean, well, I guess you get a little ornery, but...
Well, you had to be ornery when you're young to be even more ornery when you're
When you go
older.
to kindergarten when you're 5, they teach you to share.
To share, yes.
So I guess 90 years later, maybe you forget.
No, some people just...
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. My grandmother was 95 and she always shared, but I guess it depends on who you are as a person anyway. But
yeah, my grandmother would, even up until the day she died, she would say to me, Anthony, you come in the morning before you go to work, and I'm gonna make you breakfast every morning. And because you eat it, you got to be a bigger, stronger boy, make a good business.
You know what's so funny? You hear this accent. See, now my grandmother would say, Elise, listen, darling, listen to me. You have to have your bagel. Eat the entire thing because there are starving children everywhere. See? So, I mean, we all have our own grandma accent.
Yeah, that would have been great, our grandmothers getting together. I wonder if they would have understood each other.
Oh, mine would have definitely understood yours. I don't know if yours would have been okay with mine, though, because mine would have cleaned her. Okay? Mine was a clean freak. She made holes in her carpets while she shampooed them.
Oh, and mine just cooked.
Oh, you know, well...
Cooked and cooked. Eat. Anthony, eat.
Oh, my grandmother was...
My grandmother...
Skinny. Oh, my God. Do you know what my grandmother said once? Oh, this was awful. She goes, Lenore, that was my mother. That is my mother. Lenore, Elise is starving the children because she thought my children were too thin because they weren't eating every morsel on their plate.
Mm-mm. Well, if I was around then, I would have eaten everything that your grandmother made.
Yeah, her food was delicious. Nice, good, home-cooked Jewish yum.
Yep, my grandmother made the pizza. She called the pizza. You want a pizza? And I made a cooks.
I love
what the
it.
cooks were? Cookies.
Oh, the
I make a cooks.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Well, here's this.
We're certainly missing out on all that cooking, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what do parents make now? Hamburger helper? Pizza?
I was never a parent that did that. No. Grilled chicken and vegetables, a baked potato. I mean, delicious food, always.
Are you sure it was grilled chicken and not grilled cheese?
Definitely not. I mean, I've made grilled cheese, of course, but always a very good, nutritious meal. That's why my children were thin.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, let's get back to our letter over here. So... She goes on to say that my roommate is 95 and always had her own radio.
You read this part.
But I know that. I'm back.
You're reiterating?
Yes.
Okay,
so
then.
that way people will remember where we left off.
All right, keep
going.
going.
All right, let me start from the beginning again.
No!
Dear Anthony and Elise.
Oh, my gosh. So please continue.
Are you going to interrupt me?
No.
Okay. My roommate is 95 and always had her own radio. But before you and the wonderful Elise gave me my own radio, she would never let me listen to hers, even when she was napping. All right. Now, the other day, her radio fell off the nightstand and broke into a million pieces.
Oh.
Yeah, it was awful. It's karma.
That is awful.
Isn't that karma?
That is karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, be good out there. Be good to those around you, because you never know when it's going to happen to you.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get you.
Mm-hmm. Karma bites you right
She
in.
always knows karma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it fell off the nightstand, broke into a million pieces, and she goes on to say that it was awful, and she was in tears. Her distress over the broken radio touched me, and I knew this was God's way of answering my prayer. So you see, yeah.
Oh, that's just so sweet.
Yeah, it is. So she asked if she could listen to my radio. And I told her to kiss my butt.
No,
That's what she says. Thank you for that opportunity.
Oh, no.
Sincerely, Agnes.
No.
I'm reading it right here.
Oh,
This
my
is
gosh.
crazy.
It does say that. It really actually. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it touched her heart, but she still told her to kiss her butt.
Well,
wow.
it was an answer to her prayers.
You know, I guess that's what happens.
So that is karma.
Wow.
So be kind to those around you, because it will come back to
I
you.
always say it's more important to be kind than right.
You're not saying that to me. You're always saying to me, I told you so. I told you so.
No, you know that I'm always kind to you also.
Yes, you are. I was just joking. You are always nothing but kind to me.
You're so sweet. So you want to hear something really, really funny?
Yes,
or
I do.
Actually, it's not so much funny as it is what's trending
Well,
with wax.
Oh.
Waxing.
okay.
This
You
is
mean
all
like body waxing or
this is
candle
beauty
waxing?
bitch stuff, not candle waxing, body waxing.
Okay.
It's called the full bush Brazilian. Listen to this. Having it all with pubes.
Oh.
Oh my
OMG.
God. Oh my God.
OMG.
Okay, listen. This wax involves removing the hair from the labia and butt crack, but leaving all the hair in front.
This is a little TMI.
Listen to
You
this.
know, we are a Nick's
Hey,
company.
listen. This is what's trending. I'm telling you what's trending. Listen, it's like a mullet. Okay, business in the front, party in the back, only reversed, literally.
Steven.
Really?
Yep, I swear.
Really?
I swear. Yeah.
Like a mullet.
A mullet.
I'm telling you. Yep. This is what they say is trending.
And this is what our show is about.
Mullets
Trend
are trending
radio.
again. It's like the 80s all over again.
Only down there. Okay? Yeah.
We're guys. We don't know nothing what's going on down there.
No.
I don't know
Now,
about
how
you.
sad for
I can
you.
read every medical journal and still be clueless.
Well, you know, I don't know about you, Steven, but my eyes are closed most of the time. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, I can't see with the lights off, so I really have no idea.
Hey, look, guys, you know what? This is what's trending with wax. People out there, ladies out there, this is what they're talking about. It's all the rage. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just report them.
Well, they're going to have to come into the salon and see you and Nancy about that.
They're going to ask you for that special cut now, Anthony.
Yeah. Hey, hello, guys. Can I have the full bush Brazilian, please?
You heard it on Trend Radio first. The full bush Brazilian. I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got limp locks? Wake that dead, lifeless hair. Use the right bodybuilding products. Texturize, and what a surprise. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. Get into the loop with us. We are Trend Radio, your gateway to what's happening in beauty, fashion, music, health, and wellness. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. Tune in to Trend Radio every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You'll be glad you did.
And now, Stephen Molinelli and Kevin Ryan, the purveyors of wealth management. And you can talk to them in person at Insight Financial Services, LLC.com. Call them at 609-730-4940. Located South Main Street, Pennington. Good morning.
morning,
How you guys
guys.
doing
Morning,
today?
Morning,
Anthony,
guys.
Elise. How
How
you
are
doing
you?
today?
Fabulous.
We are
Fantastic.
fabulous.
That's good.
Hope all is well. And today I have a couple of questions.
Okay,
I'd like
go
to know
ahead.
what you can tell us about bonds.
James Bond?
Definitely. I'm loving 007.
007, yeah.
Yeah. Who
Which is-
doesn't love
which-
James Bond?
Which is about what bond rates are paying these days.
Yeah, something like that. That's about the interest rate.
Point
Yeah.
007. That's
Wow.
about the rate on short-term bonds.
What is the difference between stocks and bonds? We always hear stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two?
Bonds are a debt instrument. Bonds are basically an IOU that the company writes to people who buy their bonds, and they're paying money. Let's use $100,000 as a nice round number. If I decided that I wanted to invest $100,000 in XYZ Corporation, XYZ Corporation is going to pay me, in most cases, a fixed rate of interest. So
It's
if
like
I
rent.
buy $100,000, yeah, like rent. If
Rent
I
on
pay,
the money. Just like,
if
it's like a loan in that
well,
aspect.
So are you saying
It
that
is.
bonds are out of favor at the moment because
I'm saying
of the?
I'm saying that bonds right now, interest rates on bonds. Everyone has been wrong. When I say everyone, kind of proverbially, but everyone has been wrong about interest rates rising. We've been waiting for interest rates to rise for 4 or 5 years now, and we've had little blips of interest rates rising, but interest rates remain at historical lows, and it doesn't make it attractive for most investors to come in and buy bonds at these levels. However, most people buy bonds for the income. So with interest rates being as low as they are, people are saying, well, geez, I'm really not getting much income to buy the bond. Bonds are a bit of a less risky investment because I think, as we said on the last show, should something happen to a company, the senior bondholders will be paid first. So somebody buys $100,000 worth of bonds and they're paid 5% a year. Let's say that bond is going to mature in 20 years. That person is going to be paid 5% a year for 20 years. So that's $5,000 a year for 20 years. At the end of the day, at the end of 20 years, they get their $100,000 back, but they've also earned $5,000 a year for 20 years. Now, in the case of corporate bonds, that income is going to be taxable. But these days, a strategy that Kevin and I have been using, and we've been using it for the last 4 years. I don't know if you want to call us wrong or if you want to call us early.
Early.
But
We're not wrong.
early, we're not wrong. We're just early. We're early.
Never wrong.
What we've been doing over the last four years or so we've been reducing our clients' maturities. We've been taking them out of long-term bonds and investing them into more short-term securities. And some of the short-term securities have a twist to them. But the longer a bond is in maturity, the more volatile it's going to be. So if interest rates rise, generally there's an inverse relationship between yields and or interest rates and dollar price. So the higher interest rates go, the lower the dollar price goes.
You might wonder why that is, Anthony.
I do wonder. Please tell me.
Oh, and Elise too. So let me just give you a quick example, because this bonds, like Steve said, have an inverse relationship to interest rates. So if this $100,000 bond that pays 5%, so say you bought that last week, and okay, that's a decent rate. You're happy with that. It's going to be maturing in 20 years. Now next week, there's a bond that comes out that you could buy for the same $100,000, but you're getting 6%. So what do you think happens to the value of that bond that is paying 5%?
It's gone down.
That's correct. So that is how. So as interest rates go up, the value of the bond goes down, and the other way, as interest rates go down. So if the other end of the coin is if you're holding that 5% bond, then and now you can replace it at 4%. Well, the value of your 5% bond goes higher. So that's in a nutshell is how the inverse relationship works between rates and prices.
Over the course of the years of myself being in business, many of my clients who have retired have always invested in bonds, municipal bonds, or
Right.
and specifically turnpike bonds.
Uh-huh.
Are those any better than a corporate bond?
Better, I don't think better is the best word to use, Anthony. They're totally different.
Right.
Municipal bonds, if you purchase them in the state in which you reside, municipal bonds are free from state, local, and federal taxes, so they're triple tax exempt. As such, you're going to find that the yield or the rate of interest on municipal bonds to a comparable corporate bond in terms of quality, the rate of interest on a municipal bond is always going to be lower. But not to get our friends out in the audience confused, but if you buy a bond at 3%, a municipal bond at 3%, somebody may say, well, gee, why would I buy a municipal at 3% when I can get a corporate at 4.5%? Well, you're paying taxes on the corporate bond. So there's a term that we use known as taxable equivalent. The taxable equivalent yield or rate of interest on a municipal bond versus that 4.5% corporate, you, after taxes are factored in, you may actually have a taxable equivalent yield on a 3% municipal of 5 or 5.5%, depending upon the client's tax bracket.
The interesting thing, though, is that you mentioned, so now they're in retirement, and a lot of times, and that's how this whole our whole retirement structure has been, that the idea that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. So it is a little ironic that they buy municipal bonds and depend on the interest from them because they're probably at a lower tax bracket. So what Steve is talking about, the taxable equivalent yield may go the other way. As opposed to what maybe they were, it would have been when they were working and earning a living, an income. Now they could probably buy a corporate bond, and that could be a better a deal than what the municipal bonds were then. But that's.
So in other words, younger, working, and you want to get into the non-taxable
Correct.
field there, you go into the municipal bonds, and then as you get older, ready to retire, those bonds mature, then maybe take a look at it. The corporate bond might be the better
Well,
bet
it
for
depends
you.
upon the client's. It depends
Depends
upon the
upon the
client's
individual.
tax bracket.
Right.
Yeah.
And that would be why they should call you guys.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Have
Because
to have
bonds,
that conversation.
to manage a bond portfolio in difficult times like this, in difficult environments for bonds, where rates are lower and the quote-unquote demand will possibly be less. It's a lot more difficult, in my opinion, to manage a bond portfolio than it is to manage a stock portfolio for a lot of different reasons. We'd be happy to discuss that at a later date. One point that I'd like to make before we run out of time, though, is that we talked about volatility and the fact that long-term bonds are a lot more volatile. As bonds get closer to maturity, they become a lot less volatile. So in the beginning, at the top of the segment, I did say that we've taken a lot of our clients out of long-term bonds and put them in short-term bonds. Yes, less yields, but they also there's also less volatility there. So it's just, again, part of a strategy. We can talk about other bond strategies at some point as well. But bonds should be, for the most part, a part of every investor's portfolio, asset allocation. Different
Exactly.
amounts for different folks, again, depending upon age, years to retirement, tax bracket, and overall portfolio objectives. But I think most experts would agree that there is a place for bonds in just about every portfolio.
Right.
Oh,
So-
fabulous.
Great.
And
Thank
if you
you,
have
guys.
a question
Great show
about
today.
that, give us a call at 609-730-4940. Be happy to talk to you.
See you next week.
The opinions voiced on this program are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a longer, thicker Shoemaker Beautiful Hair Extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
If you're just joining us, we are Trend Radio.
Yes, we are.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
Elise,
What, Anthony? What you got?
What truths do you have about men? I know that it can't be true. Whatever the truths are, they can't be true.
Really?
I don't know
Is that
what
what
they
you
are.
think?
I don't know what they are, but I'm really nervous about this particular segment. I don't know what you're going to say. I take things pretty personally.
I know how fragile you are.
I'm very sensitive.
Okay.
As Rocky said, I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive.
Okay. Here are a few truths about men, but I'm going to say not all men.
Yes.
Okay, not all men. No matter how.
Okay. Stephen and Anthony here, not us.
Okay, listen, women. No matter how good a woman you are, if another woman walks by with a sexy body, most men are gonna look.
Absolutely.
No, not me.
Without a doubt.
No, not
No?
me. No, not me. No, I don't look.
Okay, that statement was just silly. Okay.
Well,
And I'm gonna tell you-
what I'm looking for is a woman who will take a picture of that sexy girl on the beach, and
Well, they
send it to me or
looking's
show
for
me.
free, right? But touching's going to cost you.
Do you want to hear something? It takes a very special lady to see a woman with a fabulous body, take a picture and send it to her guy. See, I do look. I'm fine if my guy looks. As long as he doesn't touch, I'm fine if he looks, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an expression of saying, hey, you know what? You look great. And I think it's a compliment.
right?
I
Steve?
feel
It's
like touching would be awkward anyway. You don't know the person. You just walk up and be like, hey, you're so pretty. Let me touch you.
You know what I mean. Don't introduce yourself. Say hello. You're involved with somebody. So, you don't need to go over that line. But here's another one that's really good. Men are not mind readers. If you want something, be specific, ladies. Tell them. Okay? And this is a really good one, too. Listen, this is good.
I have something before you go on any further.
Sure.
And I see this all the time. And if you're a gal and you're out and you see a guy that you like, and this happens all the time because the girls tell me, they're in my chair, we're talking, they're getting comfortable, they really open up, and they see a guy that they like or they'd like to meet, they ignore them. Ladies,
why?
Guys, you don't know how to approach.
That's not true. It depends on the man, first of all. A lot of men do know how to approach and
They're
don't.
Do they just assume that everyone's like the alpha male?
Yeah, no.
Okay, no. Some men can and some men can't. This doesn't pertain to everybody, but some men can, some men can't. Some women can, some women can't. But the truth is that
what we're going to do is help the woman.
We're going to help her get the guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That seems childish to me. It's like in grade school
But
where if you have a crush, you pick on them, right?
Yeah, that's
but listen,
it's childish.
even in a relationship, even in a long relationship, a seasoned relationship, I really truly believe that if you ladies, if you want to explain something to your guy, I think that it's important that you do that and you're specific about it. Tell him what your needs are. Even if you're with him for 11, 12 years, tell him so that he understands, because sometimes he just doesn't.
Just sometimes?
I'll definitely go for that. But if you're with somebody for 10 or 12 years, what if you want to flirt, you don't know, you're a young lady, you're sitting across the room, you see a guy who's really cute, you want him to come and talk to you, and you don't have the chutzpah to go over and talk to him.
I know what you can do.
Tell me.
Send him a drink.
Oh, no.
Why?
No, because no.
I'm never going to say no to a drink.
He wouldn't say no to a drink.
But
Suppose
then
you're
you
not
have to
that's
make it-
assuming you're at a bar.
Yeah, you're not always at a bar.
You're not
Oh,
always
I
at a
Maybe
bar.
you're at a
really
salon.
thought that
So that's right. You could be in the salon. You could be in the grocery
Okay,
store.
so then you
could
can-
be at the gym. So
Okay, the
let's
way you
talk
were
about-
describing it, I thought that's what the scene was. That's what I saw in your head.
Well, get out of there. You obviously were in Steven's head.
So she can read minds, but we can't.
That's that's a woman thing. And you notice I still haven't been able to get my idea out
All right.
for these poor girls. Have you
No,
noticed
there's no
that?
such
They are
thing as a
hanging
poor
on in
girl.
such suspense.
This is what we do on Trend Radio.
There's no poor girls.
They're all rich.
All right,
Where are
Steve-
the rich girls?
All right, you know what? This will work for guys as much as it will for girls.
It'll
now.
work for everybody. So what is your idea?
all right, my idea is that once you've zeroed in on a guy or a girl that you want to meet, make eye contact.
Oh, absolutely.
Hold it for 3 seconds, smile, and then make your approach. Or you look at them for the 3 seconds, you look down, look back in their eyes.
I've
for
done
another.
that. Do you know?
And
I've
they
actually,
will
That's
come
like
to you.
George Clooney's like #1 look in all of his movies. Isn't it? Yeah, he looks down
I've
and then looks
actually
back up.
done that. And it's not only, I mean, if I want to get somebody's attention, it doesn't necessarily mean because I want them for a specific reason. For, anything, sexual or whatever. I mean, that's not even what the issue would be. But if I need to speak to somebody, I can just do that. It's all about the way you look at somebody.
It is about the way you look at somebody.
Oh, absolutely. And body language, definitely.
Yeah, it's like that look across the bar.
Yeah. And you
Right.
notice.
You see? He was in the bar.
Now we're in the bar.
Okay.
Steven's like 2 or 3 years younger than me, so he still
Yeah.
goes to the bars.
Right.
I
Maybe
know,
only 4.
I know. Okay, and also, not all men think with the head below the belt. Some actually do have logic and want longevity.
That's us,
Yeah.
right? That is us.
Yeah, we're 2 of a kind.
We are. We're cousins, identical cousins.
Brothers from another mother.
That's my song with my cousin.
That's right. It is.
Yeah, Kathy and Patty Lane, the Patty Duke Show. Okay, and there are actually a lot of men out there who want a woman that has some characteristics like his mother that are motherly.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah, there are some of those men out there.
If
kind of,
you think that you want a good man, or you want to know how your man is going to treat you, you need to see how he treats his mother.
Mm-hmm. And there
And
are
how
also...
he treats his mother is how he's going to treat you. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
Oh, okay.
I believe that. I believe that.
You do. Okay, then. Now, for the loud-mouthed girl, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes they're
I'm
not
sitting
even...
next to one.
Uh-oh. Her face, Elise's face, or her jaw. I think we're up on the 3rd floor. It might be down on the 1st floor.
Okay, well, you're
I'm going to get
definitely...
thrown off the roof of this
Hey,
penthouse.
okay,
That's for sure.
I can take that. Sometimes not even a nice girl. Even if you're a frumpy girl. Okay?
A frumpy cheerleader.
Dump
Now-
the frump.
Now, you know that I'm not a frumpy one. Chances are some men will definitely have sex with you. You can even cook and clean for them, but it won't actually last because, quite frankly, that's an embarrassment.
What's an embarrassment?
Being so loud-mouthed and not nice and frumpy.
Okay.
It's embarrassing to be ugly.
It's embarrassing to be frumpy. Are you kidding me? That's an embarrassment. There's no reason for that. You know how I feel about frump.
Yeah, that was
It's just-
another show.
Yes, we did that whole
Dump the
show.
frump?
Yeah, dump the frump.
dump the frump.
Exactly. Okay, now, if a man loves you, there is nothing he won't do for you. And that's the truth. If he loves you, there is nothing he won't do for you.
I have a little different thought on that. Because what I find, when you love a girl too much, she takes advantage of you.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
absolutely.
You become weak in her eyes.
And then you got to put your foot down and stand up for yourself.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's not what...
You have to abuse them slightly.
But
not
that's
physically.
not-
Not physically, of course.
Not physically, absolutely
But that's not what I was saying. I was being nice. I was saying if a man loves you, there's nothing he won't do for you. Just like if a woman loves you, there's nothing she won't do for you. Most men want a woman that he can trust, will be there for him to
Yes,
uplift him
I
and
agree.
care for him
I agree with that.
and to be honest with him.
Absolutely. Trusted, to me, it's like the #1 thing in a relationship. If you don't trust the person you're with, then how can you be with them?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I agree with
Okay.
that.
And everybody also, ladies, we all know this. Men lie.
Oh, Steve, here it is.
Big or small, they
Here
lie.
it is.
Now, not all men, but some men, most men. And usually, it's because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh,
No, that actually is true because I had a past girlfriend where I kept some things for her and I'm like, I just didn't want you to know. I was just like protecting you. And she's like, you don't need to do that. You know, I'm a big girl. I can take it.
oh, they can't.
But here's the thing. They can't. I knew it.
They cannot
Exactly.
take it. They,
See,
if
I
you're
beg to
truthful
differ.
And how nice you are, if you say something that they don't like, you're in trouble. I'm
See,
sorry.
I think you're absolutely 100% wrong with that. I can absolutely always take the truth more than a lie. If you lie to me, then that shows me that you honestly, you have...
It depends on the lie. If it's like, oh no, honey, I
He just
didn't
cut me
go,
off.
I didn't
He
go
just cut
to-
me off.
Hey, I'm Lauren Bobbitt today.
Oh, Lauren?
It depends on the lie.
Lorena?
If
Lorena?
it's like, what was she looking at that girl? I saw you was looking at that girl's butt. No, I wasn't.
Oh, no.
Do I
See,
look
I
fat
would
in his
say...
dress?
Oh, that's
Here's the best
that's
one.
The best one.
No.
Yes.
If you
No.
have to
Do you
ask...
look fat?
If you
It's
have to
always
ask
not,
if you
honey.
look
No,
fat in that
no.
dress, then yes, you look fat in that dress. Do
No,
not
dear,
ask.
You're beautiful. No.
No. If you have to ask, then you are. Then you look fat in it. Then take it off and put something else on. You know when you look
It's
fat.
not like I don't like the color of that blue nail polish.
Well, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that-
What if she asks if she looks fat and you're into that sort of thing? Do you say yes?
Well, you know what? I think most guys like a little more meat.
Yeah.
You know,
A little
because
curvy.
yeah, only a dog likes a bone.
Oh boy.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah, that was our Sir Mix-a-Lot show.
So tell me what men want.
Well, I can tell you what they don't want.
Okay.
Most men, anyway.
All right, I'm listening.
Most men really don't want a sacred virgin. They definitely want to be pleased, and experience is usually most desirable. What do you think?
I'm going to agree with her, actually.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about it before, and I'd rather have someone who's knowing what they're doing versus me directing traffic.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
but
I'm not
besides
an air
that,
traffic controller. What do I
it's
do?
better if both. If there, I mean, obviously there are going to be situations where there is no experience, but usually that's better on both ends. You can learn together. But
And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you
Yeah.
know, learn together.
Of course.
Enjoy, be open-minded with each other.
of course, learning together is always wonderful. But usually,
Even experienced, when if the chemistry is not right between the two of you, even with experience, you're banging teeth.
it's
you
still
know,
a
you're
flop. If there's no
yeah.
chemistry, you're right. You're
Yeah.
definitely right about chemistry. If there's no chemistry, then it's just not going to be good.
Yeah, so I think it's more about chemistry than experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Humble,
And
my
from the
humble
chemistry,
opinion.
you can build experience.
That's your humble opinion?
That is my humble opinion. And we all know how humble Anthony Vincent is.
Mm-hmm. We certainly do. Okay. And then there are some men who just don't know the value of a good woman. And quite frankly, ladies, there's really nothing you can do about that type. Some men just don't change. They just don't
They
know
don't
value.
realize they take for granted.
Yes. And taking for granted,
Guys, that is the worst thing you could do.
that is absolutely,
Is take any woman for granted.
I agree.
You really need to be thinking everything that they do for you. If you made a list, there would be 100 things on that list that you didn't even know about.
Absolutely.
That
But
girls do
the
for
only
you.
thing is, on the flip side, it's the same
With anybody.
for women, too, to appreciate the men.
Yeah,
Well-
but we're bad. Men are bad.
We're the bad boys.
Yeah.
I don't agree that anybody is necessarily bad. You know, I mean,
I know there was a show.
you were just drawn
called
that way.
Woman good, men bad.
You were just drawn that way.
Yeah, it was.
But we can erase some of that, you know. We can take our eraser and go into your drawing
I
and redraw.
like me just the way I am. We're not erasing anything.
I like you just the way
I
you
like
are
everything
also.
and all the proportions the way they are.
The proportions.
I love my proportions.
How did we get onto a subject about you? Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
That's your ego. Oh, I forgot.
have an ego, but it's a little one.
Is it really?
It's the little one.
It's the humble part of you?
Yes, I'm very humble.
You know he's not. Just saying.
Anthony freaking Vincent here. You do realize men are deep thinkers.
I do know that.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how and what deep thinking men are?
Tell me, I'm sure you will.
Well, I'm just going to speak for myself.
Oh, you or the vernacular you?
The vernacular you.
Okay.
The vernacular you.
I get it.
Okay, so this will be in first person, but
Yes, I understand.
It'll
And
just help the
everybody else out there understands too.
yeah, it's not really me I'm talking about.
I know.
Okay.
And they know. Mhm,
Okay.
It's him.
So,
It's him, ladies. Don't worry.
do you believe that men are deep thinkers, or do you think they're very shallow thinkers?
Oh, no. It depends on the man. It depends on the man.
That is true.
Yeah. Some men are deep. Some men are not so deep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mowed the lawn the other day.
You did?
Yeah. And,
Okay. That was a nice picture in my mind,
yeah,
but okay.
you know that wasn't true.
You see, I'm not even going to go there, but go on, yes.
This is just the story about how men are
Okay,
deep
I know
thinking.
this is the vernacular,
The vernacular.
you. Go
So-
on.
So I mowed the lawn the other day, and
He says it again.
and after that, I sat down and had a nice cold beer.
Oh, my God.
Sounds like a great Sunday to me.
If you knew him, you know that this is really not true, but okay.
So the day, it really was quite beautiful, and the drink facilitated some very deep thinking on my part.
Okay, I think.
So my lady walked by and asked me what I was doing, and of course I said nothing.
Okay.
Now, you know the reason why I said nothing.
Yeah, because then you would say, I'm thinking, love. And you would say, I'm thinking, honey bun. And then she would say, well, what are you thinking about? And you
Oh
did.
my God,
And you
this
wouldn't-
woman is unbelievable.
And you wouldn't really have to want to go into the whole detailed thought process. So you just went with the little simple lie and said, nothing.
That's exactly right.
I know.
That is exactly the story. The reason I said nothing, because if I said just thinking, she would have said about what? Now, at that point, I would have had to explain how men are deep thinkers, and that would lead to other questions.
Right. And you don't want to be questioned.
It'd be a big, long conversation. That's actually correct.
I know.
So, in my deep thought, finally, I thought about the age-old question.
And what is that question?
Is giving birth more painful than getting kicked in the nuts?
That's a great question,
That is a great question.
It is a good question.
Wow.
And it takes
I'm-
a deep thinker to come up with this.
I don't think that needs to be such a deep thought, because here's how I'm going to explain it to you, okay? How giving birth feels. Just imagine having your body pulled apart, sliced in half, and oh wait, did I forget? Shoving a watermelon into the hole of the size of like a small grape. Okay? So you just think about that for just a minute, and then you let me know if you think getting kicked in the nuts has any comparison to giving birth.
Well,
Okay?
Well,
I know that was a long thought process, but there you have it.
after another beer and more heavy deductive thinking, I came up with the answer to that question that you just posed.
Oh, great. I
Yes,
can't wait to
yes.
hear what your thought was after 2 vernacular beers.
Mm-hmm. Well, getting kicked is much more painful than having a baby. It is. And here's the reason for my conclusion.
Okay.
All right.
I can't wait to hear it. Please.
All right. A year or so after giving birth, most women say, you know, it might be nice to have another baby.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you never hear a guy say, you know, I would like...
Please, please kick me in the nuts again.
There you go. You know, I would like
Okay.
another kick in the nuts. I rest my case.
Okay, you know what? I have to just say one thing. I'm going to go with this. Beautifully thought out, Mr. Anthony freaking Vincent.
Yeah, time for another
Beautifully-
beer, Stephen. What do you say?
Beautifully
Well
thought
done.
out. But
Well
here's
done.
what I do want to say to you. Yes, it is true that most women, not all, but most women will say a year, 2, maybe even 3, it would be nice to have another baby. Some even do the weird stuff our grandparents and great-grandparents did and have like 9 or 12. And that's because the gift that you receive with this child is so unbelievable. The amount of love that you feel for this child is, most people anyway, I'm not speaking about all.
She must be talking about the gift of stress, heartache, poverty,
You don't
car
have
insurance bills.
You don't have
Getting
children,
broke.
so you can't imagine what this actually feels like. But I'm going to tell you, it's the most incredible thing. So yes, that is why we women are strong enough to endure that pain and go through it, because the gift is just, it's unexplainable. There are no words. And I do realize that you men don't ever wish to be kicked in the nuts again, because I know that it is quite painful for that little momentarily, whatever that is, for however long it might take for you to heal. But imagine the difference of strength there, because the strength to go through childbirth and the strength to get kicked in the nuts, and the man can't do it again, but the women can, huge, huge.
Well, that's what happens to your nuts after you're kicked. They get huge.
Huge.
Don't worry, I have an ice pack for you. Okay, you'll be fine.
So, Elise, does getting kicked in the nuts affect the color of your urine and what it says about you?
Now, I'm sure that it could, because it definitely could. But let's actually discuss what the color of your urine says about you.
Well, actually, not that I'd look, but my urine.
Yours or
has
the
no-
vernacular you? Because we're always talking vernacular here. I don't know that we want to put anything about you personally on this at all.
Oh, okay.
We don't want people to know what the color of your urine is.
That's right. So let's say vernacularly.
Mm-hmm. What color is it?
Transparent. It's like
Oh, well.
no color at all.
No color and transparent? Oh, you may be drinking too much water. You better cut back.
I was just drinking too much water. I thought you
Drinking
could
too
drink.
much. Drinking too much water means that there's no color in your urine. Now, if you have a pale straw color or like a transparent yellow, you're pretty normal and healthy, and
What
that's
if it's like a dark yellow?
drink some water soon. You're still in the normal range, but drink some water soon. Now, when you get into the amber or the honey color, you're not getting enough water. And you know what I always say, drink water now.
Yeah, you're always saying drink a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a color, now this is going to start to sound a little gross, guys, but like the color of like a brown ale kind of color.
Oh, like a syrup?
Yeah.
It means you got kicked in the nuts, right?
No, not that one. You may have like a liver disease or some illness. Drink some water and call your doctor if this color persists.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, and then if you have like the pinkish or reddish, that could be from being kicked in the nuts. Yeah.
That's the
Or
blood.
if you've eaten beets or cherries, because it could be like a blood issue or a kidney issue. In any case, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this probably every time we talk about it, drink water now, but go see your doctor.
Hydrate.
Mm-hmm. Now, orange, definitely not enough water, or you may be having like some sort of issue with your liver or bile duct. So, you need a urologist for that.
So really, all of these things about your urine is always about water.
Pretty much so, because that really, really affects the color of your urine. It's a cleansing system for your body. Now, Stephen, before you were saying something about blue urine.
Yeah, what happens if it's blue? Not
Okay.
saying that
I know you were only
No.
joking about that.
Yeah, but it's really, really not a joke, because
No,
blue.
I actually know someone, she's a girl, unfortunately, that pees blue.
Okay, now this is really important. Listen to this. Blue urine or green urine. Now, this is very different. There's a rare genetic disease that can turn your urine blue or green.
I thought
Okay.
the green was from eating too much asparagus.
It could be,
And
but
it smells too.
but also there's a certain bacteria that can infect the urinary tract. Now, most chances, it's food dye or a certain medication or something that you ate, like a lot of asparagus or something weird. But of course, I'm going to say drink water and call your doctor. But your friend that has this issue, if it's blue, really, there is this genetic disease. So she should really look that up and really call her doctor.
Oh, she's got medication.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I just think it's funny that if you're going to the bathroom and it looks blue, you can just leave it there and people will think it's like the blue stuff that cleans the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to flush.
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's
If it's
a-
yellow, let it mellow. If it's blue,
Blue, just leave it there. Yeah, it's cleansing. Yeah, that's so funny. So
Well, what about purple?
there's no such thing as purple urine.
Purple's my favorite color.
No, it's not.
It isn't?
You're lying again.
All right, remind me what my favorite color is.
I'm not going to remind you.
Please.
No.
I'm saying please in front of thousands of people.
I know, but if I have to remind you what your favorite color is, how sad is that? You know what your favorite color is.
You know, she's such a bitch.
Oh my God, really?
God. You know I'm talking about the beauty bitch.
Good save. Very nice. Okay, so back to urine. If it's foaming or fizzing, what would you think about that?
Stop drinking soda.
Alka-Seltzer.
Plop,
It's
plop,
usually,
fizz, fizz.
oh, what a relief it is. It's usually a harmless hydraulic effect, but it could also indicate excess protein or a kidney issue. In any case, what to do about all of this?
Water and a doctor.
Water and a doctor, said from the brilliant plethora of information sitting next to me. Water and a doctor.
Anthony freaking Vincent.
All about the ego.
Big Daddy rules.
Oh, yeah.
Elise, you know that hat that I always wear with my Cuba Vera shirts? You know, that hat that...
Yes, I do. Your little fedora thing?
Yeah, well, I lost it. I couldn't find it.
Really? I just saw it a moment ago.
No. Well, I lost it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
And I just found it. That's why I'm wearing it today. Now, I gotta tell you, this is like really a funny story.
Okay.
So, I was driving by St. Anthony's Church, on a Sunday afternoon,
Right.
and I saw Hector walking by with my hat.
With your hat?
My hat, yeah.
You sure it was your hat?
Well, I misplaced it,
Okay.
and I thought he took it. And
That's
so
terrible.
what I was going to do was, I said, that damn Hector, he took my hat because he likes my hat.
Okay.
And so I pulled off, and it was the Spanish service over at
Right.
St. Anthony's. So I went in, and even though I don't understand Spanish too good, I understand it a little bit. But I figured, I knew he had to take his hat off in church.
Oh, no, you...
So I was going to steal my hat back.
Oh, good.
Well, I sat through the service, and I understood half of the service. And
Okay.
the priest did a sermon on the 10 Commandments.
All
And yeah, so
Oh, so one of the commandments comes up, thou shalt not steal.
so I decided after hearing that sermon that
you
I
weren't
didn't
gonna
need
steal
to.
your-
Yes. But he did talk about the 10 Commandments, but it wasn't thou shalt not steal. It was thou shalt not commit adultery. Then I remembered where I put my hat.
Oh, you know what? There are no words. None. That's very, very funny.
That's just a story.
I know, that was a vernacular story, people, okay?
You have been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Listen to us anytime, any place. Download the TuneIn Radio app to your smartphone or tablet and make 920 The Voice your favorite.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.